Alex Mercer stood at the viewport of the Intrepid, watching as the icy surface of Europa grew larger. His breath made small clouds on the reinforced glass. After 15 years as a Navy SEAL and 5 as an astronaut, he thought nothing could surprise him anymore. He was wrong. "All crew to briefing room in 5 minutes." Captain Elizabeth Carter's voice came through the speakers. Alex made his way through the narrow corridors of the ship. The Intrepid was the newest vessel in the United Nations Space Command fleet, built for deep space exploration. This mission to Europa, one of Jupiter's moons, had come together quickly after strange signals were detected coming from beneath its icy surface. In the briefing room, Alex joined the other core team members. Dr. Jason Reeves, a tall, thin man with thick glasses who specialized in alien biology. Sophia Martinez, the ship's engineer with quick hands and an even quicker mind. And Daniel Wright, a former Marine who handled security. Captain Carter stood at the front of the room. Her short blonde hair was pulled back in a tight ponytail, and her blue eyes were serious. "We'll reach Europa in 6 hours," she said. "The signal is coming from coordinates that match an unusual heat reading under the ice. Command believes this could be first contact." Dr. Reeves raised his hand. "The signal pattern suggests intelligence. It repeats in a way that can't be natural." "That's why we're here," Captain Carter said. "We'll land near the signal source and drill through the ice. Mercer and Wright will go down first, followed by Dr. Reeves. Martins will monitor from the ship." Alex felt a mix of excitement and worry. He had trained for this moment, but no one could truly prepare for meeting alien life. 6 hours later, the Intrepid landed on Europa's frozen surface. The outside temperature was -260 degrees Fahrenheit. Their suits were the only things keeping them alive. Alex, Wright, and Dr. Reeves made their way across the ice in a small rover. The drilling equipment followed behind them on a separate vehicle. "Stop here," Dr. Reeves said, checking his instruments. "The signal is directly below us." It took 3 hours to cut through the thick ice. When they finally broke through, they discovered not an ocean as expected, but a large air pocket. And in that pocket was something impossible: a spacecraft. "It's not human," Wright said, stating the obvious. The alien craft was embedded in the ice. It was dark gray with smooth lines, roughly the size of a small airplane. Parts of it were damaged, as if it had crashed. "The signal is coming from inside," Dr. Reeves said. They approached carefully. A section of the hull had been torn open, creating an entrance large enough for them to pass through in their suits. Inside, they found evidence of a terrible battle. The walls were scorched with what looked like plasma burns. Strange, dried fluids coated parts of the floor. No bodies, Alex noted as they moved deeper into the ship. In what appeared to be the control room, Dr. Reeves found a console that was still active, giving off a soft blue light. "This is the source of the signal," he said, examining the alien technology. "It looks like a warning message, set to repeat endlessly." "Can you understand any of it?" Alex asked. Dr. Reeves connected his translator device to the console. "Only bits and pieces. It mentioned something called the Devourer. I think they were running from it." As they explored further, they found a sealed chamber. The door was made of a different material than the rest of the ship, thicker and seemingly designed to contain something. "Should we open it?" Wright asked. "That's what we came for," Captain Carter said through their comms. Dr. Reeves figured out the locking mechanism, and the door slid open with a hiss. Inside was a single container glowing with an eerie green light. Within it, floating in a clear liquid, were what looked like small spores. "Biological samples," Dr. Reeves said, fascinated. He moved closer to examine them. As he did, his suit brushed against the container, causing a small ripple in the liquid. The spores responded immediately, moving toward the disturbance. "They're reacting to our presence," Dr. Reeves said. Before anyone could respond, the container cracked. The liquid began to leak out, and with it, the spores. "We need to leave now," Alex shouted, grabbing Dr. Reeves by the arm. But it was too late. The spores had been dormant for centuries, waiting. Now they were awake. And they were hungry. The green spores moved through the air like dust caught in a beam of light. Alex, Wright, and Dr. Reeves backed away slowly. "Don't breathe them in," Dr. Reeves warned, checking that his suit was sealed. 2 junior crew members, Alan and Garcia, had joined them for the exploration. Alan moved too quickly in his rush to get away. He slipped on the strange fluid on the floor and fell hard. His helmet cracked against a metal edge. "Alan's suit is breached," Wright shouted. Before they could help him, Alan gasped. The spores rushed toward the opening in his helmet, drawn to his breath. He screamed as they entered his lungs. "We need to get him back to the ship," Alex said, moving to help. Garcia reached Alan first. As he bent down, Alan's body began to change. His skin bulged and shifted. His scream turned into a wet gurgle. "Get back!" Alex yelled, but it was too late. Alan's body burst open. Something new emerged, no longer human. It moved with terrible speed, wrapping around Garcia. The creature was absorbing him, growing larger with each passing second. "Run!" Alex grabbed Dr. Reeves and pulled him toward the exit. Wright followed close behind, firing his weapon at the creature. The bullets seemed to pass through it without effect. They reached the rover and sped back to the Intrepid. The creature didn't follow, but Alex knew this wasn't over. Back on the ship, Captain Carter listened to their report with growing horror. "We need to leave now and quarantine this moon," she said, turning to the communications officer. "Send a message to command. No one comes to Europa until we understand what this thing is." Dr. Reeves was examining the data he had managed to download from the alien ship. "These records are fascinating," he said. "The aliens call this creature the Devourer. It appears in their history many times, always bringing destruction. They were trying to contain it, to keep it from reaching their homeworld. And we let it out," Wright said bitterly. "Command is responding," Sofia Martinez said from her station. They're ordering us to capture a specimen." Captain Carter stared at the message in disbelief. "That's insane. We just lost 2 crew members in seconds." "They believe the potential benefits outweigh the risks," Martinez read from the screen. "A containment team is already on its way." That night, Alex couldn't sleep. When he closed his eyes, he saw strange images. Alien worlds, skies filled with fire, cities falling. And beneath it all, a terrible hunger. He sat up in bed, his heart racing. These weren't dreams. Somehow, he was seeing through the creature's memories. The next morning, he told Dr. Reeves about his experience. "Interesting," Dr. Reeves said. "The alien records mention a psychic link between the Devourer and certain compatible life forms. Something in your genetic makeup must have triggered a connection." "Can we use this?" Captain Carter asked. "Maybe," Dr. Reeves replied. "But it's dangerous. The connection goes both ways. If Alex can sense the creature, then it might sense me too," Alex finished. They watched from orbit as the containment team landed. Colonel Olivia Blake led them, a tall woman with cold eyes and absolute confidence. When Captain Carter warned her about the creature, Blake simply smiled. "We have the most advanced containment technology ever developed," she said. "Your crew wasn't prepared. We are." For 3 days, Blake's team set up their equipment. They located the creature, now grown to the size of a small car, and deployed their trap. To everyone's surprise, it worked. The beast was captured in an energy field. "See," Blake said smugly during a video call. "Nothing to worry about." But that night, Alex woke in a cold sweat. In his mind, he could feel the creature thinking, planning. It wasn't trapped. It was waiting. "Captain," he called over the comm. "We need to warn Blake. The creature is smarter than they think." Before Captain Carter could respond, alarms blared throughout the ship. "Emergency signal from the surface," Martins reported, her face pale. The containment field has failed. The creature is loose. On the monitors, they watched in horror as the research facility was torn apart. The creature had grown again, now moving with purpose and intelligence. It targeted the power systems first, then the weapons. "It's learning," Dr. Reeves whispered. "Every bit of matter it absorbs makes it smarter." The last transmission from Colonel Blake showed her backing away from something off-camera. "It's heading for the transport ships," she said before the feed cut out. Minutes later, one of the transport ships lifted off without authorization. The Devourer was no longer trapped on Europa. It was coming for Earth. Captain Carter called an emergency meeting on the bridge of the Intrepid. "The transport ship the creature stole is heading for Mars," she said, pointing to the blinking dot on the main screen. "We have to stop it before it reaches the colony." "How?" Wright asked. "Our weapons didn't hurt it on Europa." Dr. Reeves looked up from his tablet. "The alien records show that extreme heat might slow it down. Fire was one of the few things that worked against it. The Intrepid is faster than the transport," Sofia Martinez added. "We can get to Mars first and warn them." Captain Carter nodded. "Set course for Mars, maximum speed." Alex sat quietly, feeling the creature's presence in his mind. It was distant but growing stronger. The beast was changing, becoming more complex with each hour. "It knows we're following," he said suddenly. Everyone turned to look at him. "I can feel it. It's pleased, like this is what it wanted." A trap. Wright's hand moved to his weapon. "I don't think so," Alex replied. "More like a game. It's testing us." The Intrepid reached Mars 12 hours before the transport ship. The red planet had a small colony of 300 people, mostly scientists and miners. They were not prepared for what was coming. Captain Carter met with the colony leader, Sam Foster, explaining the situation. At first, he didn't believe her. "An alien creature that absorbs people. This sounds like a bad movie," Foster said. "It's very real," Carter insisted. "We need to evacuate everyone now." While they argued, Alex, Wright, and Dr. Reeves prepared for the creature's arrival. Martinez stayed on the ship, working on a new weapon based on Dr. Reeves' findings. The beast evolved in cold space, Dr. Reeves explained, as they set up heat-based traps around the colony's landing pad. High temperatures disrupt its cellular structure. "Will this be enough?" Wright asked, looking at their makeshift defenses. Before Dr. Reeves could answer, Alex grabbed his head and fell to his knees. "It's here," he gasped, "but not where we expected." The transport hadn't landed at the main pad. Instead, it had crashed in the mining area on the far side of the colony. "It knew our plan," Alex said, his voice strained. "It's getting smarter." They rushed to the mining area, but they were too late. 2 mining crews, 20 people in total, were already gone. The creature had grown massive, now the size of a small building. Worse, it had split into 3 separate entities. "It's creating a hive," Dr. Reeves said in horror. "The smaller ones will scout and bring back biomass to the main body." The colony quickly descended into chaos. The smaller creatures moved through the narrow corridors of the habitat, hunting down the colonists. Wright led a team to evacuate as many people as possible to the Intrepid. Alex and Dr. Reeves tried to slow the creatures down with flamethrowers. In the midst of the battle, Dr. Reeves made a discovery. One of the smaller creatures had touched a sample of Martian soil and recoiled. "Something in the soil hurt it," he said, examining the sample. "There's a mineral here the creature doesn't like." Alex felt a spike of fear from the creature when the soil touched it. "Not just dislike," he said. "It's afraid of it." They retreated to the Intrepid with less than half of the colonists. The rest had been taken by the creatures. "We can't beat it with what we have," Captain Carter said as they watched the colony fall through the ship's cameras. The main creature had grown even larger, absorbing the Martian buildings into its mass. Then they saw something new. The creature was building something from the materials it had consumed, a better ship. "It's going to leave Mars," Martinez said. It's heading for Earth. Alex felt the creature's hunger shift to something new, anticipation. Earth, with its billions of people, was the perfect feeding ground. And somewhere deep in the creature's alien thoughts, Alex sensed something else. A memory not its own, but from one of the alien species it had consumed long ago. Earth had something the creature wanted more than food. Something it feared, but needed to understand. Human beings were different from any species it had encountered before. The Intrepid raced back to Earth, carrying the surviving Mars colonists. They were in a desperate race against the creature's new ship, which had launched just hours after theirs. In the ship's lab, Dr. Reeves studied the Martian soil sample. Captain Carter, Alex, and Sofia Martinez watched as he worked. "There's something here," Dr. Reeves said, looking through a microscope. "A compound that forms only in Mars' extreme temperature shifts. From day to night, the temperature can change by over 100 degrees. And this hurts the creature?" Captain Carter asked. "It seems to disrupt its ability to change shape," Dr. Reeves explained. "The creature evolved in the cold stability of deep space. Rapid changes confuse its cells." Alex closed his eyes, focusing on the link between him and the beast. It's not just confusion. It's pain. Real pain. The beast comes from a place where things stay the same. Earth, with all its different climates and conditions, will be hard for it. But not impossible, Martins pointed out. It adapts quickly. True, Dr. Reeves nodded. But this gives us something to work with. Earth has more extreme environments than Mars. Deserts, volcanoes, deep sea vents. Captain Carter stood up straight. "That's it. We don't try to kill it directly. We lure it to the most extreme place on Earth." While they planned, Wright coordinated with Earth's defenses. The world governments had been warned, but many didn't believe the threat was real. Some thought it was a trick or a cover for something else. "They'll believe when they see it," Wright said grimly. As they approached Earth, Alex's connection to the creature grew stronger. He began to understand more about it. "It's old," he told the others. "Older than human civilization. It's traveled between stars, consuming worlds. But Earth is different from the planets it's seen before." "How?" Martins asked. "Most life in the galaxy evolved in stable conditions, steady temperatures, predictable weather. Earth is chaotic. We have ice caps and burning deserts on the same planet, oceans and mountains. The creature finds this frightening." Captain Carter looked thoughtful. "So humans evolved in conditions that are extreme by galactic standards. That's our advantage." "I think so," Alex nodded. "The creature is powerful, but it prefers stability. Change hurts it." Dr. Reeves continued working on a weapon based on the Martian compound. Martins helped him modify it to create rapid temperature changes that would damage the creature. 3 days later, they reached Earth. The planet was on high alert, with military ships in orbit and weapons ready. Everyone was watching for the creature's ship. But it never came. "Where is it?" Wright asked, scanning the radar. "It should have been right behind us." Alex suddenly grabbed his head, falling to his knees. Images flashed through his mind. Ocean, darkness, pressure. "It didn't follow our path," he gasped. "It went around and entered Earth's atmosphere on the far side. It's in the Pacific Ocean." Captain Carter immediately contacted Earth Command. "The creature is in the Pacific. Send all available forces." But it was already too late. The deep ocean, with its abundant life, was the perfect feeding ground. The creature absorbed whales, sharks, and countless smaller creatures. It grew massive and split again and again, creating dozens of smaller versions of itself. The first attack on land came at a small fishing village in Japan. No one survived. Next was a coastal city in the Philippines. Then Hawaii. Each time, the military responded, but their weapons did little damage. The creatures simply adapted, learning from each encounter. Alex's connection grew more painful with each passing day. He could feel the creatures spreading, learning, growing stronger. But he also sensed something new, a curiosity about humans that went beyond hunger. "It's studying us," he told Dr. Reeves. "When it absorbs a human, it doesn't just take their body. It takes their knowledge, their memories. It's fascinated by how we survive in conditions that should kill us." Dr. Reeves looked troubled. "That means it's not just getting bigger, it's getting smarter, learning our weaknesses. And our strengths," Alex added, "which gives me an idea." He pulled up a map on the screen, pointing to a location in Wyoming. "Yellowstone, one of the most active volcanic areas on Earth. Extreme heat, toxic gases, radiation, everything the creature fears." "You want to lure it there?" Captain Carter asked. Alex nodded. "Not just lure it. Trap it, using me as bait." Captain Carter looked at Alex like he had lost his mind. "Use you as bait? That's suicide." "It's the only way," Alex insisted. "The creature can sense me the same way I can sense it. If I go to Yellowstone, it will follow." Dr. Reeves and Martinez worked quickly to create the trap. They used the Martian compound as a base and added elements that would create rapid temperature changes. Wright coordinated with the military to set up a perimeter around Yellowstone National Park. The plan was risky. The world was in panic. News of the creature's attacks spread everywhere. People fled inland from coastal cities. Governments declared martial law. Religious groups claimed it was the end of the world. In Washington, D.C., Earth Command debated the Yellowstone plan. "We can't risk losing Yellowstone," one general argued. "It's a national treasure." "We're risking losing the entire planet," Captain Carter replied. "The creature is reproducing faster than we can kill it. This plan gives us a chance." After hours of debate, they approved the plan. The military evacuated all civilians from Yellowstone and the surrounding areas. Scientists warned that disturbing the volcanic system could trigger an eruption, but they had no choice. The night before they left for Yellowstone, Alex couldn't sleep. The creature's presence in his mind was constant now, a background hum of alien thoughts and feelings. Dr. Reeves found him sitting alone in the observation deck, looking at the stars. "I've been studying your blood," Dr. Reeves said, sitting beside him. "There's something unusual about your DNA." "What do you mean?" Alex asked. "Most humans can adapt to different environments, but your cells show extreme adaptability. You have a rare mutation that makes you resistant to radiation, temperature changes, even certain toxins." Alex remembered his SEAL training, how he had always recovered faster than others, endured more. "What does that mean for tomorrow?" he asked. "It means you're the perfect person for this mission," Dr. Reeves replied. "Your body can handle Yellowstone's conditions better than most. And there's something else. I think this mutation is why the creature connected with you. It recognizes something familiar." The next morning, they flew to Yellowstone. The park looked peaceful, its geysers sending steam into the clear blue sky. But beneath the surface, incredible heat and pressure waited. Martinez had set up equipment around the main geyser basin. "When I activate this, it will create a chain reaction. The temperature will rise rapidly, then fall over and over. If Dr. Reeves is right, it should cause the creature extreme pain." "And if the creature adapts?" Wright asked. "Then we move to Plan B," Captain Carter said, pointing to the military units positioned around the park. They had brought experimental weapons designed to create the same temperature fluctuations on a larger scale. Alex walked to the center of the basin, near Old Faithful Geyser. He could feel the heat from the ground through his boots. This place was a reminder of Earth's power, a thin crust of rock holding back enormous forces. He closed his eyes and focused on the mental link with the creature. For the first time, instead of just feeling its presence, he sent a message. "Come find me." Hundreds of miles away, the largest of the creatures stopped in the middle of attacking a coastal city. It raised its massive shape, now a twisted mix of human, marine, and alien features. It turned toward the west, toward Yellowstone. Alex felt its response. Curiosity, hunger, and something like recognition. "It's coming," he told the others through his radio. "All of them are coming." Captain Carter looked at the radar. Multiple blips were moving across the country, converging on their location. "How long?" she asked. "Hours, not days," Alex replied. "They're moving fast." Dr. Reeves checked his equipment one last time. "Do you think this will work?" Alex looked at the bubbling hot springs around them. The creature has consumed countless species across the galaxy. But it's never encountered anything like humans before. We evolved on a world that should be too hostile for life. We thrive in conditions that would kill most alien species. He smiled grimly. "We're not the prey here. We're the predators it never expected to find." The sky darkened as storm clouds gathered over Yellowstone. But this was no natural storm. The creatures were changing the weather as they approached, creating conditions more like their original home, cold and dark. Alex stood his ground at the center of the geyser basin. He could feel sweat running down his back despite the dropping temperature. Through his mental link, he sensed the creatures getting closer. "They're trying to make the environment more comfortable for themselves," Dr. Reeves said, looking at the sky. Captain Carter checked her tablet. Military units report visual contact. The main creature is huge, the size of a small mountain. The smaller ones are surrounding it like guards. Sofia Martinez made final adjustments to her equipment. The temperature traps are ready. As soon as they're in range, I'll activate them. Wright handed out weapons to everyone. "These won't kill it, but they might slow it down. They're loaded with the Martian compound." The ground began to shake. At first, they thought it was the volcanic system reacting to the equipment. Then they realized the truth. It was the creature's footsteps. The main beast appeared at the edge of the valley. It towered over the trees, its body a nightmare of mixed forms. Parts of it looked human, others like sea creatures. Its surface constantly shifted and changed. Behind it came dozens of smaller creatures, each the size of a bus. "My God," Captain Carter whispered. Through his link, Alex felt the creature's interest focus on him. It recognized him as the source of the mental connection. He could sense its confusion. Humans were so small, so fragile compared to it. Yet something about them frightened it. The creature stopped at the edge of the geyser field. Steam rose around it from the hot springs. Its smaller versions spread out, forming a circle. "It's being careful," Alex said. "It knows this is a trap." "Then we need to spring it now," Wright replied, raising his weapon. "Wait," Dr. Reeves said. "Look." The main creature was changing again. Its form shifted until it resembled a giant human shape. It was trying to mimic them. "It's learning, adapting," Dr. Reeves said in wonder. The creature took a step forward. The ground beneath it bubbled with heat. It paused, then continued advancing toward Alex. "Now, Martinez," Captain Carter ordered. Martinez activated her equipment. All around the valley, machines pumped chemicals into the ground. The effect was immediate. Geysers erupted everywhere, sending boiling water high into the air. The temperature rose rapidly. The smaller creatures screamed, a high, terrible sound. Many of them began to melt, their forms unable to maintain shape in the extreme heat. But the main creature kept coming. It slowed, clearly in pain, but it adapted. Its outer layer hardened, creating a shell against the heat. "It's still advancing," Wright shouted over the noise of the geysers. "Switch to Phase 2, Captain Carter ordered. Martinez pressed another button. This time, liquid nitrogen sprayed from hidden pipes, flash freezing everything it touched. The temperature dropped from boiling to freezing in seconds. The creature's outer shell cracked and shattered. It roared in pain, a sound that made everyone cover their ears. Through the mental link, Alex felt its agony. The rapid change was tearing it apart at the cellular level, but he also felt something else. Determination. The creature was old, intelligent. It had survived countless challenges. Its body began to change again, developing an inner layer that could withstand both heat and cold. It was adapting faster than they had expected. "It's working, but not fast enough," Dr. Reeves said. "We need more extreme conditions." Alex looked at Old Faithful Geyser nearby. An idea formed in his mind. Dangerous, possibly suicidal, but it might work. "The creature fears what it doesn't understand," he said. "It fears us because we survive conditions that should kill us." "What are you thinking?" Captain Carter asked, seeing the look in his eyes. "I'm going to show it why humans are the toughest species in the galaxy," Alex replied. "And I need to get closer to do it." Before anyone could stop him, Alex began walking directly toward the creature. The ground steamed and froze beneath his feet as the trap continued cycling between extreme temperatures. Through their mental link, he sent one clear message to the beast. "You should be afraid of us." Captain Carter's voice shouted in Alex's earpiece. "Mercer, get back here now." "That's an order." Alex kept walking. Each step brought him closer to the massive creature. The ground beneath him shifted between burning hot and freezing cold as Martinez's machines worked. His special suit protected him somewhat, but he could still feel the extreme temperatures. Sweat froze on his skin, then melted, then froze again. "Trust me," he replied to Carter. "I know what I'm doing." The beast watched him approach. Through their mental link, Alex felt its confusion. No other species had ever walked toward it willingly. They all ran, hid, fought from a distance. This was new. "What are you doing?" Dr. Reeves asked over the radio. "Making a connection," Alex answered. "A stronger one." He was 30 feet from the creature now. This close, he could see the details of its body. The swirling patterns, the faces of those it had absorbed frozen in its surface. Parts of it still looked human, other parts like sea creatures, and some parts were completely alien. "It's curious about us," Alex explained as he walked. "It's consumed thousands of species across the galaxy, but none like humans. We fascinated." "Why?" Wright's voice came through the radio. "Because we're not supposed to exist," Alex said. "The environments on Earth, from Arctic cold to desert heat, from crushing ocean depths to thin mountain air, should be too extreme for intelligent life according to galactic standards." 20 feet away now, the smaller creatures had formed a circle but didn't attack. They waited, watching. Alex focused on the mental link, pushing his own thoughts toward the creature. He showed it images from his life. SEAL training in freezing water and burning deserts, climbing mountains where the air was so thin each breath was agony, diving in oceans where the pressure could crush metal. The creature's form shifted as it processed these memories. Alex felt its surprise, its disbelief. 10 feet away, the heat and cold were intense now, beyond what his suit could fully block. Pain shot through his body with each temperature change. But he kept walking, kept pushing his thoughts. He showed the creature more, not just his memories, but humanity's history. People living in the Arctic, in searing deserts, in steaming jungles, climbing the highest mountains, diving to the deepest ocean floors, surviving conditions that would kill most alien life instantly. 5 feet away, Alex stopped. His skin burned and froze in turns. Through gritted teeth, he spoke directly to the creature. "We are Earth's children," he said, knowing it could understand him through their link. "We were born in chaos, raised in extremes. We don't just survive conditions that would kill your kind. We seek them out. For fun." The creature's massive form trembled. Through their connection, Alex felt something new from it. Fear. Not of their weapons or traps, but of what humans represented. A species that shouldn't exist by the rules the creature understood. Then Alex did something truly bold. He removed his protective glove and reached out his bare hand. "Carter, Martinez, now," he shouted into his radio. Martinez activated the final stage of their trap. The geysers erupted with unprecedented force. The ground cracked open, releasing sulfuric gases and intense heat. At the same time, Military aircraft above released chemical compounds that created flash freezing conditions. The temperature swung wildly between 500 degrees and -100 in seconds. The smaller creatures began to disintegrate, unable to adapt fast enough. Alex's hand touched the main creature's surface. The pain was unbearable, but he held on. Through direct contact, their mental link became a full connection. The creature saw everything. All of human history, all their struggles and triumphs against a world that should have killed them. It saw humans walking on the moon with only thin suits protecting them from the vacuum of space. It saw them dive into volcanoes, survive in deserts, climb mountains without oxygen. And it understood at last what it was facing: a species that had evolved in conditions other galactic life would consider impossible. The connection between Alex and the creature grew stronger. Their minds joined completely. In that moment, they understood each other. The creature had traveled for millions of years, consuming everything in its path. It had never known fear until it encountered humans. Now, through Alex, it saw what made humans different. While the temperature trap continued its deadly cycle, the creature's massive form began to change. Parts of it hardened and broke off. Other parts melted away. It was fighting to adapt, but the constant changes were too much. "It's working," Martine shouted over the noise of the erupting geysers. But Alex could feel something else happening. The creature wasn't just dying, it was evolving. As pieces of it broke away, the core changed into something new. It was becoming more like the humans it feared. Alex tried to pull his hand away, but couldn't. The creature had formed a connection to him that went beyond physical touch. Through their link, Alex felt it drawing something from him, not his life, but his understanding. Captain Carter and Wright rushed forward to help him, but Dr. Reeves stopped them. "Wait," he said. "Look." The creature's form had shrunk dramatically. The smaller versions had all dissolved. What remained was a swirling mass about the size of a car, still connected to Alex. "What's happening?" Captain Carter asked. "It's changing itself," Dr. Reeves said in wonder. "Learning from Alex." Through their link, Alex felt the creature's thoughts becoming clearer, more human-like. It was restructuring itself, becoming something new. With a final violent shift, the creature released Alex's hand. He fell backward, caught by Wright before he hit the ground. His hand was burned and frozen at the same time, but he was alive. The creature had taken a new form, still alien, but more solid, more stable. It hovered a few feet above the ground, pulsing with inner light. "Can you still feel it?" Dr. Reeves asked, helping Alex to sit up. Alex nodded. "It's changed. It understands now." The ground had stopped its extreme temperature shifts. Martinez's equipment had reached its limits and shut down. The natural heat of Yellowstone's geysers returned to their normal patterns. Through their link, Alex felt the creature's message. It was complex, but he understood the meaning. "It wants to leave," he told the others. "Not to attack other worlds, but to find a new purpose." "Can we trust it?" Captain Carter asked. Alex looked at the creature. Through their connection, he could feel its sincerity. "Yes, it's not the same being anymore. It's evolved beyond what it was." "What changed it?" Wright asked. "Us," Alex replied simply. "Humans. We showed it something it had never seen before. A species that evolved in chaos and became stronger for it." The creature rose higher into the air. Its light grew brighter. With a final pulse that they all felt rather than heard, it shot upward, breaking through the clouds and disappearing into space. The mental link faded, but didn't break completely. Alex could still feel the creature, now far away and growing more distant. In the days that followed, Earth began to recover from the attacks. The death toll was high, but humanity had survived. The smaller creatures had all dissolved without the main one to guide them. Alex's hand healed, though strange marks remained where he had touched the creature. Sometimes at night, he would look up at the stars and feel a faint presence. The creature, traveling through space, changed forever by its encounter with Earth. Dr. Reeves studied the samples they had collected. The aliens who first contained this being were right to fear it, he said, but they lacked what we have. What's that? Captain Carter asked. The toughness that comes from evolving on an extreme world. Dr. Reeves replied, Earth isn't an average planet. It's harsh, unpredictable, and it made us strong. 1 month later, strange signals were detected coming from other star systems. The message was always the same, a warning about Earth and its inhabitants. The galaxy had learned something new. Among the stars, there were predators and prey. And humans, with their ability to survive what should kill them, were definitely predators. The creature that had once been the galaxy's deadliest beast now spread a new message as it traveled between stars. Beware of Earth. Its people are forged in fire and ice. They are the toughest species in the galaxy. And they are coming to the stars.